My partners here, Bruiser and Shasta. Welcome, this is yoga. So I'm gonna start with a block, sitting on a block. Just sit up onto your block, just to help lift you. Nice, comfortable seated position with your, whatever that means for you. So for some people, the legs cross is comfortable, or you could take a leg to the side, just whatever's comfortable for you. All right, bring the palms into your heart center. Move your head around a few times. And we're gonna really focus on the breath to get started. All right, so close your eyes. Try, if you can, to just inhale through the nose, and then you can exhale either out the nose or the mouth. Feel where your breath is at right now. Just notice. Try to start bringing your breath a little bit more down into the belly, so that your belly is controlling the inhalation and the exhalation. Now try to make that a little bit faster. You only really have to focus on the exhalation because the inhalation will naturally come. Try to start getting a little bit faster. Just a breath of fire. This is called the breath of fire. So this should start heating your body up. 20 more seconds. Remember, focus on the belly. All right, now just let your breath do what it wants to do without thinking about it. Just let it go back. And then feel how your body feels. Feel how your head feels, how your lungs feel. Just feel into that and just love knowing that you have control of your breath. You want to increase your heart rate, you could just increase your breath. If you want to slow your heart rate, you can slow down your breath. And while we're here, make your intention for your practice today something that benefits yourself and all beings everywhere. And just have that intention in your mind. And then place your palms onto the ground right in front of you. We're going to find ourselves into a tabletop position. You can move that block out of the way. And start rounding through the back and arcing. In that cat-cow, focusing on that breath once again. Exhaling into your back. Inhaling into your belly. Bring that conscious awareness of the breath, of your body, moving, arcing, and rounding through the spine. And the next time that you come into your rounded cat pose, stay here, tuck the chin and the tailbone deep in, and then start swaying around. Your toes could be flat or curled, whatever feels more comfortable. And get nice and deep all the way through this. Move to all sides of the room. And then reverse that direction whenever you feel guided. Good. And then find yourself back into center. Curl your toes, press into a downward facing dog, and just start walking your dog. First down dog of the day. Feel into it. Tuck that shin into your chest. Widen your fingers, open through the shoulders, straighten up the back. Just about 3 more deep breaths here, and we're going to step the right foot forward. And then put all the weight onto the left side, step your right foot forward, and then lean back. We're going to shift forward, lean back. Shift forward, bend into it, lean back. Warming up through the legs, through the hips. If you needed to, you could use a block here to help you get a little bit higher if that feels good. All right, and then we're going to start finding a warrior one pose. So to do that, I want you to take your back left foot out to an angle, anywhere between 90 and 45 degrees. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up, and then reposition your hips and your stance so that your hips are both pointed forward. Your knee is pointing in the direction of your toes always. And then interlace your outer 3 fingers. Gaze forward, tuck in that tailbone, stay here, breathe. Just feeling into your breath. Good, 1 more breath. On your exhalation, open into your warrior 2, your right arm forward. Now your hips are gonna open up. Maybe your stance opens up just a little bit more. Take that left arm like somebody's pulling it back, gaze forward, and then sink even lower into this. Stretch even your fingers, your arms, breathe. Good, 1 more breath. On the exhalation, bend this right elbow, place it onto your thigh on the right side. Left arm stretches all the way up. Just stretch all the way through that side body. Good, 1 more breath. On the exhalation, we're going to straighten this front leg out. Place your right hand onto the leg and sink as low as comfortable. Maybe you could even place your hand onto the ground, or you could put a block there also. Keep gazing upward. Breathe. Try to open up through the hip, shift the weight into the hamstring. On that right side, open up even more through the shoulders. 3 more deep breaths. On the exhalation, bend the right knee. And then place your arm, your right arm pressing onto that right leg. Take your left arm behind you. See if you can catch your fingers. So you're interlacing your fingers behind you, binding. That right arm threads under the right leg, left arm behind you, bind if you can. Now stay with your bind and look down. Let your head look down, breathe. 3 more deep breaths. Stretch out through the neck. On the exhalation, untangle your arms and place both of your arms behind your back. Interlace your fingers so your right shoulder is now resting onto your right knee, and then bring those arms up into a nice bind. Good. 3 more deep breaths here. On your exhalation, release your bind from behind you. Place the left hand under your shoulder. Straighten out your right leg and position your back left foot so it's a little bit more forward. Toes are going to point to the front. And then see if you can lift up that right arm. Make sure both feet are pointed forward. I don't want your knee pointed out to the side on this. Good, 3 more deep breaths. On your exhalation, we're going to slowly shift our gaze back downward. Put a buoyancy in your front right leg. We're going to come into a warrior 3. Reach those arms out in front of you and your leg back behind you as much as you can. If you need to, you can hold on to something. Flex the foot behind you, point your hips down. 3 more deep breaths. On the exhalation, slowly find your mountain pose. Both feet flat onto the ground, palms to the heart center. Make sure your feet are about hip distance apart or a little bit wider. Remember our breath and your intention, and just stay here and breathe. If you want to increase your heart rate, a faster breath, or slow your heart rate, a slower breath. Try to be equal amount inhalation and exhalation while you notice that space in between the rise and the fall. Good, 1 more deep breath. And on your exhalation, release your arms. Inhale, reach back up. Deep breath in. And exhale, swan dive down. Hands come under your shoulders. Find your plank line. Stepping or jumping. Hold that plank line for 3 deep breaths. On the exhalation, bend the elbows in toward the ribs as you lower down. And then press your hands into the ground to come into a cobra or an up dog. Stay here for the first time that we're doing this. I want you to just focus on your center abdominal muscles, stretching out through the neck, lifting the chin. 3 deep breaths, and then we'll move into our down dog. On the exhalation, curl your toes and find your downward facing dog. And walk your dog or hold your down dog, whatever feels good for you. And then we'll move into our left side. Good, 3 more deep breaths. And on your next exhalation, put all the weight onto the right side as you step the left foot forward. And we're going to start off with that rocking forward and back. Just feeling in to whatever resistance you might be feeling through your legs. Maybe you feel more tight on this side than the other side. This is just dynamically helping us warm up into it. Just about 3 more forward and back, and then we're gonna start finding that warrior 1 position. All right, and the next time that you shift your hips back, put a little bend in that front left knee, take that right foot out to an angle. Start finding that warrior 1 position, arms come up, interlace those outer 3 fingers, Readjust your stance so that your hips point forward, knee points to your toes, tucking that tailbone, open up through the shoulders, interlace those outer 3 fingers, gaze forward and breathe. Good, one more deep breath. And now we're gonna open into our warrior 2. Now take a moment here, reach that right arm back, maybe even adjust your stance a little bit wider, and then sink low into this. I'm just gonna turn so I can see you guys. Draw that belly in, gaze forward, stretch even your fingers if it helps to wiggle them, to stretch even deeper into them, open up through those shoulders. 3 more deep breaths. Good, that exhalation is gonna bend your front left elbow and place your forearm onto your thigh. Stretch your right arm all the way out. Breathe through that side body. 3 deep breaths. Try to have that equal part inhalation and exhalation. Good, one more deep breath. On your exhalation, reach the arm all the way up. Start straightening out your front leg and then shifting low. Put that block there if you need to, or you can place your hand onto the ground, or you can keep it onto your leg. Breathe here. 3 more deep breaths. And on your exhalation, bend your knee, that left knee, and then start placing your right hand behind your back and see if you can thread that left arm behind you, binding your fingers, and breathe here. We're going to start by just looking upward, and then we'll look down. All right, now look down on your next exhalation. Stretch up through the neck, breathe. On your exhalation, untangle your arms behind you. Now both arms are coming behind you. Widen your stance if you need to. Resting that left shoulder on your left knee, start bringing your arms up. Good, 3 more deep breaths here. On the exhalation, release your hands from the bind. Place your right hand under your shoulder. Start adjusting your stance so the right foot can come up with the toes pointed forward, and bring your left arm up into that triangle position. Try to have both heels touching the ground. Good. Shift your weight back so you can really feel this hamstring right here. 3 more deep breaths. On the exhalation, put a soft bend in this front left leg. We're coming into that warrior 3 position. Stretch your arms forward. Use something to balance if you need to. That back leg comes up, hold, breathe, 3 deep breaths. And on the exhalation, come into that mountain pose, both feet hip distance apart. Breathing into this, palms to your heart center. Remembering that intention, feeling grounded into the earth, connected into the universe, centered into your heart. On the next inhalation, inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Lean back, deep breath. Exhale, swan dive it down, hands under your shoulders. Find that plank line. Stepping or jumping. Hold your plank. On the exhalation, bend the elbows, lower all the way to the ground. Point your toes. We're going to take a few up and down motions here. Inhaling, pressing up. Good. Exhaling, lowering down. Move with the breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now we're going to start adding a twist. The next time that you inhale, twist to one side, look behind you. Exhale it down. Inhale, twist to the other side, look behind you. Exhale it down. So every time that you inhale up, look behind you, alternating your sides. Good. 2 more each way. Okay. The next time that you're up, stay up and look behind you, one side and the other side. We're just staying up and breathing as we look right and left. Good. Now come back to center. We're going to stay up and bend our knees. Bend your knees. Try to reach your head behind you as if your knees, or as if your toes were going to touch your head. On the exhalation, lower all the way down. Keep those knees bent. Hold onto your ankles. And we're going to bring it back up. Bring those legs up as high as you can. 3 more deep breaths. And on the exhalation, slowly lower your legs down. And then find a child's pose. Press your hands into the ground. Press all the way back. Take that nice counter stretch through the low back. Breathe. Now, when you're here, I want you to look up to one arm and then the other arm. Look to the right, look to the left, but keep pressing your hands into the ground. You're just doing a little shimmy, stretching into the back. Good. 3 more deep breaths. And then bring it back to center. Place your forearms onto the ground. See if you can bring your palms together. You're gonna take a dolphin pose here. Curl those toes and then press back with your forearms onto the ground, palms together if you can. Opening up through the shoulders, straighten your spine. Just let that blood go down toward your head if that feels good. If you feel uncomfortable, you could come into a child's pose or a cat-cow. And on your exhalation, lower your knees back down. Place your hands back under your shoulders. Come back into your tabletop position and begin rounding and arcing, moving through the cat-cow. Good. Now flatten up your tabletop back, extending your right arm and your left leg. Stay here and just stretch like somebody's pulling you from both ends of the room. Reach your arms, your arm, your leg. Just look down. Now keeping your limbs nice and long, your belly button up towards your spine, begin rotating through the wrist and the ankle. Just circle one direction. Wrist and ankle, get nice and deep through this. And the other direction. Now we're going to catch our foot and bring it up nice and high. Should already be warmed up into this. We did the bow pose and those cobra poses. Good, one more deep breath. And on your exhalation, release it down. Take a few more cat-cows, resetting through the spine. Make any little movements along the way that feel good. And then find that flat tabletop back, and we're gonna go our other side, extending the left arm and the right leg. Focus on just stretching out. Somebody's pulling you from both ends of the room. Now keep these long limbs and then circle, wrist and ankle. And go both directions. Keep those limbs nice and long. Now we're going to come into that bind. Catch your foot behind you and bring it up as high as you comfortably can. 5 deep breaths. On your exhalation, slowly release. Come back into your cat-cow. Making any of those last movements that feel good. We're gonna round through the spine, curl your toes, and then come into a down dog. We're here for 10 deep breaths. If that's too much for you, you can come back into your cat-cow. I want you to really focus on putting your weight in toward your heels, opening up through the shoulders, widening those fingers. Find that chin into the chest, and you can close your eyes or gaze up. With each exhalation, see if you can sink even deeper into those heels, pressing the low back down in toward the ground. Good. On the next exhalation, lower the knees all the way back down. Cross your legs behind you, and we're going to come onto our mat. Try to have a ring or some kind of strap with you. And then just lower all the way down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest and start circling. Just feeling into your hips, your hip flexors. Circle one way and then the other way. Keep alternating. One direction and then the other direction. All right, and then we're going to place our left ankle over the right knee. Just stay here for a moment and focus on flexing your left foot. I want you to hold onto the knee, hug it in towards your body, and then press it out. As you press it out to the left, use your leg muscle on the right side to bring your ankle in. We're gonna do that a few times. Hug it in, press it out. So right now, I just want you to focus on your hands pressing your knee, but make sure your foot stays flexed to help protect it. And then you're still gonna use your right leg to bring that ankle in. You might feel some movement through the hips. This is gonna help us to get a little bit deeper. We're gonna do a few of these dynamic movements, and then we're just gonna hug it in and stay here for a little while. All right, now I want you to place just your left hand onto your knee and your right hand onto your heel. So both hands are helping those hip flexors get nice and loose. Maybe you can get a little bit deeper every time. And I want you to kind of lift out of this. So you're not crunching your femur bone into your hip socket, you're lifting out of it as you do these dynamic movements. Just about 2 more, and then we'll stay in the stretch. All right, now stay here. Keep pressing this left hand onto the right above the knee. Keep the left foot flexed and hug your heel in. Use your right leg to help hug it in even deeper. 3 more deep breaths. Right now, I want you to keep this leg position, but find that ring or the strap. Place the ring or the strap onto your right foot. The left leg is going to remain crossed. Keep the left heel flexed, and then use your left hand to press onto the left knee as your right hand is hugging your right leg in. Breathe here, 5 more deep breaths. Keep pressing. All right, on your exhalation, we're gonna fully cross the left leg over the right. Keep holding on to the ring or the strap with your right leg. Hug in, stay here, and bend and lengthen through that right leg. You still have that left leg crossed over, and you could use your left leg that's crossed over to press onto your right leg. So it's an active movement. Your left leg is pressing onto that right leg when your right leg stretches out. It's helping you get deeper into that stretch. Three more of these, and then we're going to stay with the leg long. All right, the next time the leg is long, stay there and actively use that left leg to press down on your right leg, but you're hugging your right leg back in. Nice deep stretch here. Breathe, widen those toes. 3 more deep breaths. All right, on your exhalation, I want you to keep your right hand onto that ring or strap. Now, the left leg is going to stay crossed. Lower your legs, both legs, over to the right side. Let the arm come out. Look to the left, legs are to the right. Breathe. And on your exhalation, slowly bring it back up. We're gonna switch over to the left side. So left hand holds onto that ringer strap. Lower those legs over to the left side. Take your time and look to the right. Gonna press your shoulder into the ground. Good, one more deep breath. And the exhalation is gonna bring you back up and we're switching sides. But so untangle, before we actually do the other side, we're coming back into those hip circles with the hands on the knees. Just like when we started. Feel where you might feel tension, resistance. Feel how the left side might feel a little bit different than the right side. Good, and now we're coming to crossing the right ankle over the left, starting with the foot flexed, and we're using the hands to actively engage, hugging the right knee in and pressing it out. Just like we did with that other side, keeping that foot flexed to protect. And now we're gonna position left hand onto the right heel, and your right hand is focusing on pressing the knee out. Your left hand is pulling the heel in, keeping the foot flexed the whole time. Now let's try to start using that leg to help you a little bit more. The left leg is hugging in when you hug in. Very important to keep the foot flexed. That's what's going to help protect the knee. Just about 3 more of these, and then we'll hug it in. All right, stay there, hug in, find that position. When you're ready, hook your left foot onto that ring or the strap. Left foot, left hand, your right hand gently presses onto your knee. Stay here, stretch. All right, now we're going to fully cross that right leg over the left and start with the bend and lengthens. Actively using that right leg that's crossed over to press onto the left leg. Good, widen those toes. And the next time that the leg is straight, keep it straight. Hug and breathe here. Let that right leg cross over, press it down. Good, 3 more deep breaths and we're gonna take our twist. All right, now just the ring or your strap in your left hand, your right arm floats out to the side, and then lower your legs down over to the left, Look to the right, try to keep the shoulder as much as you can on the ground. Good, one more breath. And exhale, bring it back up to the other side. Use your arms to help you. And we're taking it all the way over to the right. Take your time getting into it. Look to the left. 5 breaths. And on your exhalation, bring it back to center and untangle yourself. Take that prop out of the way. Bring the soles of your feet together. Hug your ankles in. Use your arms to open up through the inner thighs. Stay here, breathe. Press that low back into your mat. And now we're gonna open up into a happy baby. So whatever is your favorite, if you want to place your peace sign fingers around your big toes, or you could hold on to all of your toes. You keep your knees bent, or you could straighten out. And just breathe here, about 5 more deep breaths, and we'll come into our Savasana. Good, and then bring those knees back in toward your chest. Crunch yourself into a little tight ball, like a tight little rock. Squeeze, squeeze. We're gonna squeeze for 5 counts, and then we're gonna release into our Savasana. Squeeze, squeeze for 5. Keep squeezing, even the fists, even the feet. 4. Squeeze 3, 2, and 1. Release the limbs out. Take a big deep breath in and sigh it out. And just make sure you feel nice and comfortable. Like any little movements that you need for your hips to be grounded, your spine to be long, your shoulders to be grounded, your limbs nice and long, the feet falling open, the palms opening up. Feeling back into that breath, the rise and the fall. And just feeling how good it feels to be in this moment right now, in your breath. And bringing your awareness back to the space around you. Making little small movements, wiggling your fingers and your toes, blinking your eyes. And then stretch your arms all the way up. Reach like you're being pulled from both sides of the room with your arms and your legs. Deep breath in. And now take your right wrist, pull it over to the left side, and cross your right leg over the left. If somebody was looking at you from above, you look like a banana shape. Breathe into that side body. And now switch your sides, hold on to that left wrist over to the right, cross the left leg over, breathe into that side body. And bring it back to center, knees into your chest, roll to your right side into your seed pose. Take another breath or two here. And use your left hand to press you into a comfortable seated position. If you wanted to, you could grab that block just like when we started. Whatever comfortable seated position means for you. Straighten up through the spine, take a few shoulder rolls. Go one direction and the other direction. And reach your arms all the way up, palms touch at the top. Deep breath in. And one more time, up and around. Exhale down, inhale all the way up. Palms touch. Exhale, bring it into your heart center, your thumbs to your heart. Namaste.